And we are live. Hello, my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with my brother, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hi.
I am so excited to have you on my channel. So we want to start off with this disclaimer. Mark, would you like to read the disclaimer for us?
Yeah, so we're not financial advisors. Do not take this as financial advice or invest because of us. Do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose, because it's always possible that you could lose it.
Those are wise words. It's always nice to maybe earn some additional money to your income, but you don't want to risk more than you're willing to be out, right?
Yep.
So that was one of my first questions. So we're coming from this from the perspective of I know nothing about cryptocurrency, but my brother knows more than me. That's the perspective we're coming from, okay?
Yeah.
So I thought we could have this conversation on the phone or in person, or we could make a YouTube video and other people could hear our conversation and maybe they could benefit from something that you know that I don't know. And so that's it. That's all. We're not advising anyone. We are not telling anyone to buy anything, and definitely don't risk your assets. All right. One of my first questions, since I know nothing about cryptocurrency, is if I were to invest, let's say $50 and buy some cryptocurrency, could they later tell me you now have negative $2,000 and you have to pay us money? Is that a thing?
No. Can I go ahead and explain how cryptocurrency works?
Explain everything. I will listen.
So what cryptocurrency is to me, and I'm going to be saying this in layman's terms, I'm not going to get into technical details, but to me, cryptocurrency is a way for us to break free of the big tech companies. So as you know, Google, Facebook, and all those big companies, the reason they're so powerful is because they can afford to buy tons and tons of computers, tons and tons of servers. Maybe you've seen on like commercials or YouTube videos of all these like long rows of computer servers for like cloud computing, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Can you hear me? Uh-oh, we've got some lag. I can't hear you.
Your audio is bunching all together, and it's
okay.
too.
Let me try taking my headphones out.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, but I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me? Testing, testing, testing.
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. If you disconnect the headset, can you hear me then? But now, see, when you were talking a lot, it was jarbling it all together. But now that you're talking slower, I hear you fine.
Well, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try not using my...
All right. Do you mind saying all of that again so that we can hear you clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So, as you know, big tech companies, they use tons of servers, like computers all stacked up. Maybe you've seen images of these huge server rooms. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that, but now I do.
Yeah. So none of us could really afford to run like a big social media platform or whatever, because we don't have the money to buy all those servers. So what blockchain technology is essentially is it's individual people connecting their computers together, all running the same program. So it's basically like they're creating a big supercomputer with other people's computers all connected together in a worldwide network. Does that make sense?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay.
So how does cryptocurrency tie into that?
Okay, and then cryptocurrency, it also, I mean, cryptocurrency originally started also as a way to break free of power, and that is actually kind of government power, or rather government control of money. So like the Federal Reserve, they can print money And Bitcoin started in 2008 when the financial crisis happened, and the big banks were bailed out, and they started printing a lot more money to keep interest rates low and keep the economy from completely crashing. And so people wanted to make their own monetary system that wouldn't be controlled by the government. So the way the blockchain technology works, because you can't just make a money on the internet and expect people to trust it normally, because whoever controls it could just say that, okay, now I have $1 million and I'm taking all your money. So the way it works is the blockchain technology, everybody in the network that has a computer on the network has a ledger. They have a record of how much money everybody has. So since everybody has a copy of that ledger, if one person says, okay, I have $1 million now, I'm giving all the money to me, everybody else is going to say, no, we all have a copy of the ledger and we know that you're wrong, so we're just going to ignore you. So that's the way it works in a nutshell. I mean, in super simple terms, it allows there to be a reliable monetary system without a central control. So that's why people say that blockchain technology is decentralized, because it's a whole lot of individuals keeping each other in check rather than the government saying who has how much money and so on. Does that all make sense?
Yes, but my thought is that it's almost like forming a different government, and so it can also become corrupt, right?
Well, it's called a trustless system because nobody can cheat it. Nobody has control over it. Like I said, no one person can change the ledger and say they have all the money or whatever, because everybody has a copy of the ledger and they're all keeping each other in check. So there's really no way that it could become corrupt unless somebody got enough computers to have a majority, and so they could take over the network. That would be called a 51% attack. Means that you have over half of the computers on the network, so you can kind of take over and overrule everybody else. But that's helped by having more and more people on the network. The more people there are, the more unlikely that could happen, because someone would have to be able to have billions of dollars to have enough computers to control the network. And that's not likely if the network's big enough. Does that make sense?
I think my brother's smarter than me. I always knew that, but yes, I'm following you somewhat. But
Okay.
my question is,
Yeah, get back to your question.
yes, my question is, all these people that are smart like you are becoming millionaires, and I want to know their secret.
Okay. So your
Please.
question earlier was, if I buy a cryptocurrency, am I going to owe money? The answer is no.
That's good to know.
When you have cryptocurrency, well, what you should do is have a private wallet. A private wallet is your own thing. You hold the quote unquote password for it. It's a bit more complicated than a password, but as long as nobody else gets that password, they can never take your money, because only the person that has the code for your wallet is able to say on the blockchain, I am wanting to make this transaction. No one else can do it unless they have your private key. So your money will always stay in your wallet as long as you don't do anything. No one can take it away. And the worth of, let's say you have a Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is worth however much people have bought into it. Essentially, the more people that buy Bitcoin, the more Bitcoin is worth, because people were willing to buy it. So that means it's worth something. So its worth goes up the more people buy it. Does that make sense?
Like supply and demand.
So if for some reason everybody stopped trusting Bitcoin, everybody sold their Bitcoins, it could become worthless. So your Bitcoin that maybe you bought for $30,000, right now Bitcoin is close to $40,000 for one Bitcoin. It could go all the way down to $100 and you'd lose all your money if everybody sold their Bitcoin. But no, you would not be in debt. There's no way to be in debt just by buying cryptocurrency. Now, if you borrow cryptocurrency, there are people that do lending and borrowing, and so they actually have a debt. But just owning cryptocurrency is not going to make you owe money, but you could lose it if its price goes to zero.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, your sound is really good right now. I know that's off
Okay, good.
topic, but when
Yeah.
you took your headphones off, you still had some sound issues, but right now it's going loud and clear,
Good.
right on time. Really good. Okay. Awesome. I know that's off topic. I think I might leave the disclaimer on the screen throughout our video so that if anybody comes in halfway through, they have the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Okay. So
did you want to ask about? Okay, go ahead.
Do you want to talk about your personal experience with Bitcoin or how you've seen the market rise or fall or anything like that?
Okay. Well, you wanted to talk about 4 specific types, some of the most popular ones. So right now, remember I talked about how, to me, cryptocurrency is people breaking free of the big tech companies by basically forming their own supercomputer by connecting all the computers together. That's not really the case with Bitcoin and some of the more popular. They're just a store of money. That's their only goal. Their only goal is to be money. And honestly, I don't like Bitcoin at all. Bitcoin is the most popular because it was the first, but it's actually the slowest network. It takes a really long time to send people money with it. It varies, but it could take like 15 minutes, which is a lot faster than like wiring money to someone. But it's still way slow compared to other newer blockchains that have been created. So people treat Bitcoin like digital gold. They don't really make payments with it. They just buy it and hold it, waiting for it to go up in price. And to me, that's incredibly boring, and it's not very useful. It's just something to invest in, and you don't really do anything with it until you sell it for a profit. Ethereum is one of my favorites. Ethereum, it is what is referred to as a world computer. It's not just a store of value. It is a programmable computer. People can make their own apps on the Ethereum network through something called smart contracts. And they can create all kinds of different things. Like, for instance, there was a really popular digital pet called Cryptokitties recently that got insanely popular. And it was basically like Tamagotchi, I think, where you had this digital pet that you can take care of, and then you could breed your Kitty with someone else's, or if you have two, you could breed them to make a new crypto kitty, and you could sell them. So you could sell crypto kitties to people.
I'm just imagining these like 80-year-old billionaires playing Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the thing is the crypto kitties got to be about like $100,000 each. It was insane. It got insanely popular, but it wasn't sustainable because people kept breeding. There got to be so many of them that there weren't enough people to buy them. And I don't know how it is now, but it basically crashed. It's not worth much anymore. But that's just an example of the many, many different things that can be created on the Ethereum network because it's programmable and people can just, create all kinds of different things using cryptocurrency, make profit off of all these new applications and stuff. And the other coins that you talked about, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, yeah, those are pretty much the same as Bitcoin. Those are just stores of value. Bitcoin Cash broke off from Bitcoin to make their own because, like I said, Bitcoin is super slow. Bitcoin Cash broke off from Bitcoin in order to try to make a faster Bitcoin. And I think they did, but it's still not worth as much as Bitcoin for whatever reason, just because Bitcoin is the most popular. And then Litecoin is the same, except Litecoin has a completely different programming language. Cool thing, though, about Litecoin, some people don't know this. Have you heard of Dogecoin? The meme? Oh, wow. I'm surprised you haven't.
I know. I'm on a different part of the internet than you. I'm on the teaching online part. The gardeners.
Doge was this meme of this funny looking dog that was making a fun funny expression. It was years ago. People made all these memes of this dog. So when Bitcoin started to get popular, a guy jokingly made a coin called Dogecoin. And it wasn't even really a real coin at first. But then another guy, a computer programmer, came along and said, hey, I want to make Dogecoin a real cryptocurrency. So they did it. But essentially
they made
what he did,
a meme into a money.
yeah, they copied the Litecoin protocol, essentially, and changed it a little bit to make the Dogecoin protocol. But Dogecoin was a coin that almost failed. It went below 1 cent, so it was worth hardly anything. And so it wasn't profitable to mine it. So mining is, like I said, all these computers are on the network, right? And they're approving the ledger. They get paid in the cryptocurrency. That's why it's worth it to help run the blockchain, is because you get paid with the cryptocurrency. But anyway, Dogecoin wasn't profitable, so it almost died. But then Litecoin, the Litecoin people said, hey, the programming language of Dogecoin is the same as ours, so we could start just putting Dogecoin on our ledgers, and we could get both Litecoin and Dogecoin, and so it would just be a small bonus. And then years later, Dogecoin got really popular, and now it's worth, right now I think it's worth like 20 cents. It went up to like 75 cents each. But that's huge because Dogecoin has a really large supply. There's billions and billions of Dogecoins. So the fact that it went up to just a few cents makes it have one of the highest market caps now. And so it's made a lot of the Litecoin miners a lot more wealthy, because this almost worthless coin that they've been mining suddenly became worth a lot more. But anyway, that's kind of a cool thing. But again, I don't really like these store of value coins. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Cash Bitcoin, they're boring, and they don't have much of a future in my opinion. Bitcoin maybe does because it's so popular, but I think the real thing is in smart contract ones like Ethereum, where they can create all these cool technologies on the platform that use money, and people can make money from them, and so on.
Well, Mark, I have to tell you, the reason I wanted to have you come on is because David, my husband, and I, we were looking at these for the first time this morning, and we just on a whim decided together we put $50 in Ethereum.
Oh, good.
Because we saw that was the one that was doing the best, because it was like
Okay.
up 5%. So we thought if we put $50 in, like, we can just watch it and see what happens, and we can start to learn about it. And then I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to interview Mark on my channel and find out what we just did.
Well, can I give you some market advice? Although this is not financial advice again.
Yes, this is brother to sister advice.
This is warning advice, kind of.
Warning, yes.
It's a common mistake people often make when they first get into cryptocurrency, is they buy the thing that's currently going up. Something that's currently going up is likely to go back down soon. And when that happens, they panic and they're like, oh no, I'm going to lose all my money. And then they sell. So they're doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do. They're buying high and they're selling low, and they're losing money.
They're supposed to buy low and sell high.
So when you see that something that you're interested in buying is low, that's when you buy, and then you hold on to it until it goes way up, and then you sell it to make a profit. What you just bought is likely to go down at some point, but don't sell because it's going down. Wait until it goes up above what you originally bought it at.
That's why we experimentally started with $50, so we can watch it and see what happens and start to learn and discover what this is, because it's not an amount of money that we will miss if it goes to zero. But
if you don't mind me asking, where did you buy it? What app?
PayPal.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so PayPal.
This is the list on PayPal.
Yeah. So, okay, I gotcha. So, yeah,
PayPal. I'm showing you PayPal right now.
Yeah, thank you. So PayPal it's nice that they're letting people invest in cryptocurrency. Problem is you can't use it. I mean, you can sell it back to them to try and make a profit, but they don't allow you to send it to a private wallet. So when you have cryptocurrency on PayPal, technically they own it because they have the private keys to it, to the wallet. And there's a saying in cryptocurrency that is not your keys, not your crypto. So that technically isn't yours and you don't have control over it because they don't allow you to send it to a private wallet. I use an app called Coinbase, and Coinbase is really good for many reasons. They're an American-based company. There's a lot of sketchy exchanges out there that aren't American-based.
Is it one word or two words?
You got it.
Okay, Coinbase.
Yeah. So Coinbase, one thing that some people would say is bad is they make you give them all your information. But I mean, I think you have to give information to PayPal in order to make an account anyway. But like Coinbase reports to the IRS, so you have to pay taxes when you sell something for a profit, like a cryptocurrency. But that's actually a good thing because you want a platform that has transparency. Coinbase also has pretty high fees. That's what a lot of people don't like about it, but they do allow you to send it to a private wallet. And with Ethereum, you can't use it on the Ethereum network if you don't send it to a private wallet. So you send it to a private wallet and you can use all of these decentralized apps. DeFi is decentralized finance. And so another thing about the Ethereum network is it's not the only cryptocurrency on its network. There's actually hundreds of tokens, they're called, on the Ethereum network. Like Ethereum is the main coin. And it's kind of like if we take our money to Chuck E. Cheese and we buy tokens, those tokens aren't real money. We can't go shop at the grocery store with them, but we can use them to play games at Chuck E. Cheese. So there's all these tokens on the Ethereum network that you can buy with Ether and then use them for their specific apps that they're made for. But all of those cryptocurrencies can go up in value. You can invest in all those different coins on the Ethereum network. And that's a lot of what I do is I swap Ether for other coins that might go up in time. So I've got several different coins that I've invested in. And a lot of those tokens are not available on Coinbase or anywhere else because they're not popular enough yet.
And you mentioned to me that there are how many different kinds of cryptocurrency?
There's over 10,000. A lot of them are dead because they went to zero and nobody uses them anymore. But there are, over 1,000 that are currently active.
And those dead coins, does that mean people lost money?
Yeah. If there's a scam, sometimes there's scam cryptocurrencies where, they create a coin and they say, hey, buy my coin, you're going to get rich off of it. So a lot of people buy it, that increases its value. And then the person who created that coin, they sell all of theirs so that they get a profit off of it. It goes to zero and everybody else who bought it loses their money. So that's why you need to do a lot of research. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos and there's a lot of good guides about how to tell a good crypto project from a bad. Like, you want to be able to see who the creators are. If the creator is anonymous, it's probably not good because they don't want to get sued when they run off with your money. So you got to make sure who they are, if they are a legitimate business person or programmer that is going to stick with the project and be successful and so on.
Scammers are so smart. They scam people every way they can think of, huh?
And unfortunately, that's not the most common type of scammer. Like, a scam coin isn't as common as other scammers. Just are people that will email you or contact you on social media and try to convince you to send them money. It's a really stupid thing, and it makes me sad that people fall for this. Like, they'll say, if you send me like 2 Ether coins, I'll send you back 4. I'll double your money. It's like, I don't understand how anyone could fall for that, except they keep doing it all the time, and apparently people fall for it. So either they try to get you to send them money and they just keep it, or or they try to get them to give you your private keys, your private password. So if you give them their password, they can just open up your wallet and take all your money out of it. So that's something you really got to watch out for.
I think a good rule of thumb is if it sounds too good to be true,
yes,
it probably is.
Yep, that's what people say all the time.
Well, it's true. Yeah, it's true about, for example, when I was living in Texas, we were looking for a car. And so we were looking on Craigslist and we kept finding these cars. I was like, wow, this is an amazing car for only $2,000. I can't believe it. And it was always this story of, I have to sell my car because I'm in the military and I'm going overseas. And my car is worth $10,000, but I have to sell it for $2,000 because I have to go to the military because nobody can watch my poor little car.
Yeah.
And it's always like, we even asked them to send us a picture of their ID and it was a fake one. And the picture was stretched and it didn't have like a number on it or anything. It was like, okay, well, this is not real. But yeah, scammers can be really clever and smart, and it's unfortunate. But if you ever get an email that says that someone is the daughter of a prince and they just have to marry someone in order to get their millions of dollars, they're probably trying to scam you.
There's always been scam emails like that ever since email was invented. But now it's even easier for them to take money because of cryptocurrency, because once a cryptocurrency transaction is made, it can't be taken back. Like with credit cards, you can sometimes have the transaction canceled if you call your credit card company or a bank transfer or whatever. But cryptocurrency, as soon as it's sent, there's no way to get it back. There's no reversing it. So in some ways, cryptocurrency has made it easier for people to scam people out of their money if they use cryptocurrency.
That's unfortunate. The scam I get the most often is the only person that ever calls me is an automated machine that tells me that that the warranty on my car is about to run out.
Yeah. That's a meme on the internet too.
Yes, I was gonna say someone, like, there was one meme where someone found like a glass bottle like on a deserted island, and they pull out the paper. It says your car warranty is about to expire. But yeah, it's unfortunate because they can be very convincing at times. I've even seen a video of a police lady talking on the phone with a scammer, and they're saying, "You owe us this tax money and you have to give it to us or we're going to have you arrested." And they don't know they're talking to the police themselves, you know.
Can I tell you about one more cryptocurrency?
Yes.
Okay, so another big one that I'm really interested in is called Cardano. And Cardano is a lot like Ethereum, except it doesn't have smart contracts yet, but it will next month, September. So it's actually been 6 years they've been creating Cardano. It's taken so long because they are committed to scientific research and peer review. So they don't make any technology until it's been tested over and over and approved by scientists and so on and so forth. Unlike Ethereum and other blockchains, which were basically just some smart people that threw some stuff together and created this stuff, Cardano has been researching and trying to make the best thing ever, best blockchain ever. Can you hear me?
Yeah, unfortunately, your message is getting garbled again. Can you try saying it one more time?
Yeah, so Cardano is trying to create the best blockchain ever by doing tons of research and scientific review and all of that. And so finally, after 6 years, I mean, they've done other stuff. ADA exists, their coin ADA, and I have some of it. I have a wallet. But finally, they're going to have smart contracts in September. And then it's going to be a lot like Ethereum. It's actually better than Ethereum in that, okay, so most of the cryptocurrencies, all of the cryptocurrencies that we talked about use a system called proof of work. And how that works is all the people that do the ledgers, that approve the ledgers of money, they have to use really powerful computer power. It's complicated to explain, but basically they have to it's part of preventing people from taking over the system, is that you have to have a really powerful computer in order to do it. And because of that, a lot of these blockchains use tons of energy. It's really hard to get into it because it's really expensive for the computers and everything. So that's what proof of work is. It requires you do a lot of work with your computer. Your computer does a lot of work in order to do it. So the new form is proof of stake. So proof of stake is you stake some of your own cryptocurrency. So you kind of put your cryptocurrency up, you kind of put it at risk, and so it takes very little computing power. But if you try to cheat the system, if you try to take it over, then your cryptocurrency could be taken away from you. So you're not allowed to approve ledgers unless you have cryptocurrency skin in the game, basically. So you don't want to try and trick the system, because one, you'll probably fail. The other people with ledgers will say you're wrong, and then you're going to lose some of that cryptocurrency you've put up. So that's the new system, and so Cardano is one of the first big blockchains to use a proof of stake system, and it's good because it's a lot faster than proof of work, and it uses less energy. People have criticized Bitcoin because the whole Bitcoin network uses more electrical energy than some countries. So yeah.
Wow.
So but ADA, Cardano, one computer on the blockchain uses less energy than a light bulb. So like 3 watts instead of 100 watts. It's like way less. So yeah, so proof of stake is better in energy consumption and speed. And then now it's going to have smart contracts just like Ethereum. The thing though is Ethereum is currently proof of work, but it's going to change to proof of stake next year. They've been working on changing to proof of stake. So Ethereum might become just as good if they can successfully change over. But Cardano is going to be proof of stake and have smart contracts in September. So that's another big one I'm banking on.
I'm really interested in, if you are willing to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned to me personally that China created its own cryptocurrency,
Sure.
but they also blocked their citizens from using outside cryptocurrencies. Is
Yeah,
that
let me
true?
take a drink real quick.
Yes. Which to me, that piqued my interest, because in the teaching community, we're seeing the laws that are being passed by China that is basically sums up to they don't want foreign teachers teaching their citizens. And I'm thinking that, you're on one side of the internet with cryptocurrency and gaming. I'm on the other side of the internet with gardening and teaching. And we don't always cross the two sides to put 2 and 2 together, that maybe China hates America.
Yeah.
Do you think that is part of, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all about control, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is controlling their own citizens. I think.
And
Obviously, I
tracking
don't know.
and
Yeah.
tracking them and educating them themselves.
Want me to tell you about what happened with them with cryptocurrency?
Please tell me it all and I'll listen.
So Bitcoin mining, and like I said, Bitcoin mining is running a computer on the Bitcoin network to approve the ledgers. You understand that? So people were really concerned because a majority of the computers in the Bitcoin network were starting to be in China. I forget if it was like 60% or 80%, something crazy like that, were all in China, because China is huge, has a huge population. Because China manufactures tons and tons of stuff, so it makes sense that they might do that. So people were worried that China might take over the Bitcoin network and do, like a over 50% attack, like I was telling you about, and they could just take over and give all the money to themselves. But it was actually kind of good that China banned it. They banned, and the reason, well, one of the main reasons is because, like I said, cryptocurrency is kind of intended to take power away from the government. Governments are more powerful because they control the money in their country.
Yeah.
So China was starting to realize that, oh, Bitcoin is going to allow people to buy and sell things without the Chinese currency. And also it was energy consumption, because they were consuming a lot of energy and burning coal to do it, unfortunately, because China burned tons of coal and pollutes their own air. So just recently, China banned Bitcoin mining in their country, and that really hurt. It crashed the price of Bitcoin because that made the network less powerful with all those computers going offline. So Bitcoin was like $60,000 early this year. One Bitcoin was $60,000. It crashed all the way down to like 30,000. Now it's coming back up to like 40,000. But so them banning it messed things up. But now just all the miners are moving out of China and going elsewhere to mine. So it's going to be China's loss. And it's good now, because now China can't get a majority of the Bitcoin network. They can't take the Bitcoin network over because it's leaving their country. And so now China is making the digital yuan their own cryptocurrency, which is not the same as other cryptocurrencies. Other cryptocurrencies are decentralized. Like I told you, they're controlled by individuals with their own computers connected to the network. But China is called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. So it's pretty much the same as the money that we have now, government money. Except it's digital, so it's faster. It can be moved around faster, but also China will have all the records of what everybody buys and sells with. So they can catch people that do any kind of criminal activity, or what they call criminal activity. They can say that
what is criminal according to their laws.
It's just another way to keep surveillance of all of their citizens.
Yeah.
And if they go to completely cashless, which is what some countries are thinking of, just get rid of all their cash, force people to use digital currency, then they can, control everything about their money completely. Because cash, allows people to do secret dealings because the government can't see what they're doing with cash. But a central bank digital currency would let them control absolutely everything.
When I hear about cashless, the concept of cashless society, my mind automatically goes to homeless people that don't have the option of being cashless, or people that can't have a bank account for one reason or another. And when I went to Aldi recently, they said no cash. They weren't accepting any cash at all. And I asked, is this just a store thing or like a nationwide thing? They said there's a nationwide shortage on cash, and the reason they weren't accepting cash is because they didn't have any change to give. And I remember one time I went to the gas station and I actually paid with cash. Usually I use a card, and they gave me a 50-cent piece in my change instead of quarters. And they said there's a national shortage on quarters right now. And I said, how is a 50-cent piece more common than a quarter? This is so strange to me,
Well, this kind of leads back to Cardano, because a big thing that Cardano is doing is trying to bank the unbanked. They're doing a big initiative in Africa where they are setting up internet in African villages and getting devices to them, because they're using cash and they don't have any way to have a bank. They have no way of getting interest on their money or anything like that. And people can cheat them and steal their land because they have no proof that they own land, et cetera, et cetera. One cool thing about Cardano that I didn't mention is you earn interest just by having the Cardano currency. Basically, it's like interest, and it's really good interest. It's like 5% interest per year, which is way better than any bank. Banks gives you like 0.01% interest. So, and it's part of the proof of stake thing. You kind of have to stake your ADA and then you earn interest on it. But I mean, I won't get into all the particulars of it, but so anyway, they've made a deal like in Nigeria, I think, where they're going to start getting devices to teachers and students.
Oh.
Not just giving them a way to bank their money, but also to have a digital identity with like permanent records of grades and stuff, because that's a big problem. There is, even if students go to school, there often aren't any records that they got in education, so that makes it hard for them to get a job. If a lot of times they have to take a test to get a job, if they fail that test, they never have a chance to get that job again. They have to be a manual labor the rest of their life. So having this information stored on the blockchain would allow them to prove that they have had an education. Voting is another big thing, because in some African countries, there is violence with voting, where people will be held at gunpoint or killed during elections. And so the Cardano thing, they're creating ways to participate in an election from your own home. And not like mail-in voting, but like using a device. And because of the cryptography and everything, it allows it to be reliable, and people can't just cheat it. People can prove that they are the ones doing it because they have their private key or whatever the case may be. So they could vote from the safety of their own home, and nobody would be able to stop them. No one would hold them at gunpoint and everything like that.
Yeah. That's interesting. Wow.
So that's one of the big reasons I like Cardano, because not only they're just trying to make something worth money to get people rich, but they're trying to help the world. And it's kind of what
solving
Bitcoin,
problems.
yeah, it's kind of what Bitcoin wanted to be from the beginning. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is so slow, and it could get better, but the Bitcoin community refuses to ever update the Bitcoin network. They won't do what are called hard forks. Hard forks is when everybody on the Bitcoin network would have to do the update, or it wouldn't work. A soft update is where some people can do it if they want to, but it won't mess things up as much. But they can't do as big updates if they don't do hard forks. So in my opinion, I think Bitcoin will eventually fall away as the biggest one, because it refuses to innovate. But the more innovative ones like Ethereum and Cardano will be the future.
Okay, so I'm trying to fully comprehend many new things here. So the first thing is, you said that someone could buy one Bitcoin for a large amount of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Could someone buy a percentage of one coin?
Yes. In fact, yeah, it goes to like 16. I don't know exactly how many, but it's like 16 decimal points. So you can buy a super tiny amount of it. Yeah. So that's the way cryptocurrency works, is you don't have to buy one full coin. You can buy 0.000001 of the coin,
Okay.
and just have a little bit of it. And that's what a lot of people do.
How long has Ethereum existed?
Ethereum.
Ethereum, sorry.
I think they started working on it in 2013, and like 2015 or something. I think it went online and started. So you said you bought $50 of Ethereum. So since Ethereum is actually $2,700 for one Ethereum coin, so you've got like 0.000 something of Ethereum.
Okay, very cool. Good to know. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm all out of questions, but thank you so much for coming on my channel. And who knows, if I come up with some more questions or if something happens in the news or something, I might have you back for a part 2.
Great.
But
I've really
yeah,
enjoyed this.
good.
And
I'm glad.
I'll tell people about this video so they can see it and check out your channel too.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great
Yep.
day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.